I'll select this cube and let's take a look at some properties. So we can view the properties inside the details panel of each and every component. So it will be different for this component and the properties will be different for this cube, this ground, and likewise. We'll select this cube. Now we have some transform properties which define where this cube is situated inside this level. Then this cube is actually a static mesh, means a 3D object. Then we have some material that is applied on this cube. Inside the physics properties, we have something called the simulate physics, which is turned on. So if I just hover over this name over here, we can see that it is telling us if the simulate physics property is true, then this body will use simulation. Means it will be reacting to other bodies and it will simulating the physics. And if it is false, then this cube will be fixed inside this level. Below that, we have some mass which we can define for this cube, which is 35 kilograms. And we have some linear and angular damping, which I will get back to it later on. Then we have the enable gravity, which says turn on. So if I turn off the simulate physics property and let us press play, if I try to collide with this cube, notice that we are no longer able to push this cube away, whereas these cubes we can push away. It is because of that simulate physics property. We are not able to move this cube now. I can press escape to exit out of this game mode. I will select this cube over here, which is the platform, and I can enable the simulate physics for this platform as well. If I enable it and let us try to push this thing, I will play it. Now I'm trying to push, but we are not able to push it that far. Is it because we have not defined the mass for this platform? Let us press escape. So the mass is not defined. It is just giving some default value for it. I can just select it and we have this 100 kilograms by default assigned for this platform. And now if I press play, we are able to push this easily, like these cubes over here. I'll press escape again. So I will select this cube and turn on the simulate physics. Let us pull this up. I will also bring my player start over here. So when I press play, I will be directly start from here. Also, I can rotate my view. I will press E to select the rotate tool and I will rotate in this direction. So when I press play, the player will be facing in this direction. Let us start our level. You will see that because of the gravity and the physics, the cube is actually falling on this ground. If I just disable this gravity and if I press play, the cube is staying in the air and the gravity is not acting on this cube. So we just enable the gravity and let us actually increase the mass of this. Suppose like 2000. I'll press play and let us try to move this. Because the mass of this cube is very much high, we are not able to move this cube. And we can decrease the mass and we can see. Now we can move this cube easily. So we can have different properties for different static meshes over here. Now let's have a look at this linear and angular damping. So right now, let's select this cube over here. We'll move this somewhere around here. Right now, the linear damping is set to 0.1. So if I just hover over there, we will get a small definition for it. So it is a drag force added to reduce linear movement. So if I just increase it to 10 and let us play our level, notice that it is a little bit hard to push this away. It is like a friction for this cube. Let us look at the angular damping. So it is a drag force added to reduce angular movement. So I will select this one. So if I set this to 10 as well, so now it will be harder to rotate this cube. We'll be requiring much more force to push this away and also to rotate. That's why it is lowered, so that we can easily push it away and we can easily rotate this. So the linear and angular damping are used for these reasons. Now we have some constraints property. I can actually reset the default value by pressing these reset icon over here. Let's look at the constraints. So the constraint will define at which location or position this cube will be fixed. If I lock my X position and also my X rotation, we will notice that this cube will no longer be able to rotate in the X direction. Let us actually lock all these position and location. And we'll try to move this. Notice that we are not able to move this cube, even if the physics is enabled. It is because we have added some constraints to it. We have locked the location and the position of this. So those are some places where the constraints can be used.